Good morning, guys. How are you doing? Today, I want us to learn something new. That is how to test for a short in a capacitor. How will you test a faulty capacitor or a shorted capacitor? And before we go ahead, I want us to understand the role of a capacitor inside the motherboard. Capacitor helps the motherboard to filter power. Actually, in short, generally, capacitors filters power in the motherboard. It ensures that there is a smooth power flow in the motherboard. That's why a capacitor, one side of the capacitor touches the ground, and the other side touches the power lane, or the anode side, and you have the cathode side. That's why whenever you are testing a capacitor, you need to test against the ground or against itself. Why? Because when you test against the ground, you will find that one side of the capacitor pips to the ground, and then the other side doesn't pip to the ground, right? And we have several types of capacitors. We have the tantalum capacitor, like this one, this bigger one, and then we have the ceramic capacitors. Ceramic capacitors are these ones, like the yellow ones. So the first thing we need to do is to turn your meter. Make sure your meter is on. You can see my meter is off. The pointer points at off. Then I need to turn it to this calibration. This is the pipping mode or the diode mode. You can see there's a pale icon there for pipping, or the diode for diode mode. So I need to turn your you need to turn your meter against that calibration. Then you need also to check for the baseline of your meter. You can hear when I place these probes against each other, I can see the reading is 0.0 ohms. So it means those points are connected to each other. So we say this, we have a cathode and the anode side in the capacitor, and should not pip against each other. So whenever I place my probes side by side of the capacitor, it should not pip. You can see there's no pipping, so meaning these capacitors are good. These capacitors are good. Even this tantalum capacitor is also good. So what about if I test against the ground? And we said the grounds are these screw holes. These are the ground, or these metallic ports. These are the grounds too. So what if I use my probe, one probe to the ground, for example this metallic, this port, against one side of the capacitor? You can hear, yes, there's pipping, meaning this side of the capacitor is the ground, and this side, the other side, is not the ground. You can hear. So that's how you test for a capacitor, guys. So in case I placed this probe here and I hear the pipping, and the other side too, in case there was a pipping, it means there's short along this circuit. So this circuit, it will have mean we have a short there. What about this other tantalum capacitor? So one side, you can hear, this side is the ground, and the other side is not the ground. So meaning this circuit is good, right? Yes. Then there's an exception. There is something else inside. Sorry for that. Inside this heatsink here, we have the processor, or the CPU. So, and the CPU itself is the motherboard by itself. It's a micro motherboard. So there's a different. We have a special case concerning the capacitor around the CPU. It should pip whenever you test the capacitor. Can you hear that? That one doesn't mean that capacitor is bad. No. That's why at the beginning we started by testing the baseline of the meter. You see, we have 0.00. Can you see the difference? For T's, yes, it pips, but still we have the resistance. We have 4.7 ohms. So it means that's a resistance from the processor. What if there was a pipping and I find that I have about 0.00 ohms? It will have mean I either have a short with along this line, and you can see this line goes inside the processor. So also it will have mean this processor is faulty, or there's a short inside this processor, either the sound bridge or the processor itself, or even these capacitors are shorted, or these components which serves this circuit, right? Yes, that's what I need you to understand. So whenever you are testing for a short in the capacitor, this is how you do it. You use your probes against each side of the capacitor. When you hear no peep, it means there is no short. When there is a peeping, you also pay attention to the readings. When you have a 0 ohms resistance, it means there is a short. When you have some readings, it means there is no short. So let's use this the other side of the motherboard. So the CPU is inside here. These also components behind the motherboard, just directly to the CPU, serves the CPU. You can hear that. You can see the readings. You can see the readings. Yes. Sorry for the noise in the background, guys. Next time I'll try to improve on that. You can see we have 5.1 ohms resistance, so it means that is the resistance from the CPU. Yes. Every capacitor, that's how you test it. That's how you test it for the short in the capacitors. You can hear even this one. What about if we try another motherboard? We have another motherboard here. I have another motherboard here. This is 830 G6. This is 830 G6. This is my CPU. This is the processor. You have the processor here and the sound bridge. So these are the capacitors which are serving the CPU. You can see we have 5.9 ohms. What of this one? Still 5.9 ohms. In case I had 0.0 ohms, it means this capacitor is shorted. All right. Yes. What if I let's try ground against the processor. You can see there is 7.4 ohms against the ground. Why? Because I said this processor is a micro motherboard by itself. So this is a micro motherboard inside the motherboard itself, and this is the main component. In my previous video I explained to you this is the main component of a motherboard. Without this component you don't have a motherboard. It would be just a scrap, right? Yes. So guys, let's try these capacitors. You can hear? Yes, you can see we have 117.7.0 ohms. So it means there is no short there. You can see there is no short along with these capacitors. So today we were just focusing on the capacitors. We have another capacitor here. You can see. You can see. Yes, there is no peeping. So it means that circuit is good. So guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please like and subscribe to this channel and share with your friends. I really appreciate it, guys, and have a good day, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.